Esport ekranlarına hoş geldiniz. Fenerbahçe Beko Final Four'da ve biz de medya günündeyiz ve bugün tabii ki birçok konuğumuz olacak. Fenerbahçe Beko Başantrenörü, yılın koçu Sarunas Jasikevicius da bizimle beraber. Coach, how are you first of all?
How are you guys doing?
It's a busy day, of course, but I know you are not a fan of this kind of a busy day, but here we are. You are in the Final Four, so how are you feeling, Coach?
Good. It's better to have the media day for the Final Four than not to have it. So this is a positive.
Yeah. So how is your days goes in Istanbul so far? So because summer is coming, and I know you like to play golf, so there's a close place to play golf. So how is your days going in Istanbul?
I think usual stuff. Usually we spend a lot of time here in the Ülker Arena. If the day's off, like you said, a little bit of golf, a little bit family time, so the usual stuff.
And Lucas plays in the junior team also, and he went to Balıkesir to compete in the Turkish junior tournaments. So how is he liking his life here so far?
Good. The kids are adjusting. It's not easy city to get around with.
Sure.
So like we said, for all of us is an adjustment, and I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah. So, Coach, 7 Final Fours in 10 years. What kind of a dynasty we're talking about in Fenerbahçe?
Well, I think this is one of the best clubs in Europe. There's no question about it. Over since they started investing more resources into the basketball section, has been one of the great destinations for the European basketball, and I'm very happy that we continue with this rhythm, with this idea, and feel extremely proud to be part of it.
Yeah, and you're returning to the Final Four. Of course, last year you came to the club in the middle of season. It was not maybe your team. Now you build your own team, and you are here. You are again. What was the main changes during the season to reach to the Final Four?
Well, I think we first of all we had to be extremely patient. Some things we did not achieve. In the summer, as far as closing a roster, we had to be very patient. We have to improvise a lot of times, and I thought that we passed a very difficult moments, in November and December. And since January, and since a lot of players were coming back and being integrated better, the team is playing good basketball, and the team is in a good spot right now, I believe.
Yeah. And you mentioned about the improvising. Maybe before the season we were all talking about a big guy maybe needed in the team. But with the stretch fives, mainly Sertaç, there's a different kind of a basketball maybe you played in our observation, of course. So how happy with your big guy rotation during the season?
Well, I think they're all different. That's the most important. It gives me the luxury to adjust to the opponents.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to, survive in certain situations, or in some situations you have advantages. And like I said, this is the most important, to have a very flexible roster, and this is what these big guys are giving you. They're all very different.
Yeah. Coach, we mentioned about the Final Four and your fifth Final Four in a row. We usually normalize these things, but can you talk about the journey? How hard to get into the Final Four? This fifth
Well,
in a row is a big thing.
I think you need to understand how difficult it is. Everybody's talking about winning, and right now the focus is to take advantage of this opportunity and to win the Final Four. But if you think about it, it's so difficult to get there, and especially if you keep changing the teams and the different stuff. So I think we have to be extremely proud that we're back into Final Four with the best 4 teams.
Yeah, Coach, Paris series is of course is a different series than other series. You swept the series, but they're different team to maybe catch up, to contain. So how challenging do you think was the series against Paris?
Well, it was very challenging. We understood right before the series how they play and how difficult it is. Everybody seems like they were expecting Paris to go down during the season. A lot of teams are just saying that they're not going to be able to continue with this, but they managed to achieve amazing results. They kept the consistency, and I think a lot of credit for them. And we understood it was going to be a difficult series, and that's how it was, despite the 3-0 result.
Yeah, and how hard was to contain TJ Short, because everybody was talking about him, and you managed to maybe keep him under standards.
Listen, in European basketball, it's not about containing one guy. A lot of times you make the strategy according to a lot of the team things, and we understood that probably we were not going to be able to take TJ out, and certain things is we're going to have to give up. And I thought still he was extremely effective, and but like we said, it was then the focus had to go maybe somewhere else, how to take down the numbers, not from TJ.
Maybe 3-pointers of them, because you keep them under their standards, especially in the 3-point area.
Yeah, I think this is the point. I think every team is different, every game is different, strategies are different. So, sometimes it's your focus solely on the main guys, but sometimes you need to think about, the role players and how to limit their production.
Yeah, of course. And in the first game here, coach, the moment that we remember what the isolation play of Wade Baldwin against Jan Tunnel, maybe the reason he's here for to finish this kind of place. How happy were you with Wade Baldwin's effectiveness on the court?
Wade has had many problems during the year, with his health. He was not able to be 100% for the majority of the year. I think he's coming into this time in a good shape and a good mental frame of mind. The basket like this, I thought it was extremely important for our team to be in this position, because Paris in the game one was hitting very difficult shots and a lot of things seemed to be going against it, but we kept our composure, we kept our cool, and managed to go up 3, going into that moment, and then Wade pretty much decided the game with isolation play.
And just before that, coach Cambridge did a great job in the switching defense, and in the third game also he was in the fourth foul and he played great, especially again this switches. How happy with you, Cambridge, especially this kind of switches, because I know you are principals in this kind of a defense, so how happy with him contribution in the defensive end?
Well, I think he's a mobile big, he can switch out 1 through 5 position. This is one of his strengths, so I think he's one of the best in that, and he was extremely effective in those series especially.
Coach, in the second game, in the first half, you find 61 points, which was a record from the in EuroLeague postseason. The flow of the offense, there's lots of movements off and maybe on the ball, the screens and the rolls and everything. So how happy were you with your team's offensive flow in the second game?
I thought not just the second game. I thought we had a great series offensively. We were pretty much all game scoring above our numbers. The second game, obviously, when you start breaking the records, the guys understanding all these situations that we try to take advantage of, and then the shots fall in, and then obviously feeding off these, amazing fans over here. It was one of those situations where everything really falls into place.
Coach, your 3-pointers, 82% of them coming from the assists. What does it tell you?
No, I think this is our basketball. We try to create as much as we can. When we're playing our best basketball, we are patient, moving the ball side to side a lot, playing as a team. So, we're trying to work on it, and this is one of the things that we need to do in Abu Dhabi for sure.
And Tarek growth in that system, of course. The ball movement, he's coming off the screens against TJ Shores. TJ Shores was defending and he was coming off the screens and finding his pull-ups. How happy with his growth during the postseason, of course?
Well, good. He had a great Paris series. This is what we expect from him right now, and even more so. I'm really pushing him every day to go even one level up, which I believe he can really do. So let's see. The sky is the limit for him.
And Nigel and Marco, of course, they are your leaders in the team. And in the last game, overtime, they took over. How can you describe their leadership in the team and on the court?
Well, leadership can come in different ways. They're not exactly the most vocal guys. They are some of the best practice players that we have. It's extremely important for them and to show their leadership every day, and this is what they do. So, like I said, it's true that they're extremely important for us.
And Coach, we were talking about Wade and Nigel's chemistry on the court, and Wade was the ball handler and Nigel was the screener, and this is some kind of pick your poison thing, because if they switch, you can go to low post and do other things. How dangerous is this offense in your system?
Well, I think this is two of the best players in EuroLeague, so it's kind of our job as a coaching staff to try to put the ball as much as we can into their hands and hopefully decide the game, and other guys moving not to be in their way. Yeah, so it's it's one of the strengths of Fenerbahçe for sure.
Yeah. And the celebration was something else in Monaco, and the backflip, of course, is something to see in the locker room. What did you do after? How big was the party? How was the celebration in Monaco?
The party was good, like always. The party was good. Everybody's happy, and this is one of the moments that you live for, you really want to enjoy, because it's one of those, goals achieved in the middle of a season. Yeah, so it was fantastic to just celebrate it all together.
Yeah, and your opponent will be in the Final Four, will be Panathinaikos, your last opponent in the Final Four, of course, in Berlin. How do you feel about this matchup, coach?
Well, I think, this is nothing to feel about. This is your opponent. You need to go and prepare, and like I said, whoever we will play in Final Four will be extremely, extremely difficult. We understood that the difficulty of the opponent, but it's going to be difficult for both teams.
Of course, we're going to talk about all the key matchups and everything during we are in Abu Dhabi. But now we are going there. So how different will it be to be in Abu Dhabi for a Final Four?
I don't think it's that much of a difference. I think more or less everything is the same. The setup of the arenas, the fans. I'm sure that the Fenerbahçe, Olympiacos, and Panathinaikos fans will fill up the arena, and I'm sure it's going to be great.
How do you feel about the fans? Because I believe they will be in there in Abu Dhabi to support your team, of course, and other teams' supporters will be there. So the ambience, the atmosphere, how do you think it will be?
I think it will be just like any other Final Four. I think it will be great.
Coach, what about the future of EuroLeague? Because I want to talk about this, all the things that we are talking about, this NBA coming to Europe, and EuroLeague maybe a bit more teams in the future. So how do you feel about the future of EuroLeague?
Well,
where are we going?
Nothing I can feel about it. I'm not one there deciding, so whenever they tell me when we're supposed to play, I will go and play. So it's nothing really I can feel about. I just wish EuroLeague and the clubs will be more united. I wish that every year we would take a step forward in all the departments, and this is my expectations for the EuroLeague. We got to go everywhere up in as far as how many people see us, in the salaries for the players and the coaches, and the bigger infrastructure for all the clubs. So I hope every year is a bigger improvement, because on the court, I believe that we are putting in an amazing product. So it's a lot of up to them in order to improve everything outside of the court.
Do you think league will be played with more teams, like 20, maybe 24?
How can I know, guys? I don't know. I'm not in these meetings.
Maybe too much pressure and weight on the players, and because there was too much double weeks and everything. But we will see what will be decided in EuroLeague. Coach, about the Final Four, we can dive in a little bit into Panathinaikos, because they had the players MVP Kendrick now. Defending him is a team thing also. How important to stop a player to the details of the game, to control everything?
Well, this is what it is. It's going to be extremely difficult to stop them. We have to make it as difficult as possible for them, and I always repeat through all the years, and that the big games are decided in details. Big games decided in cheap points. There's a lot of great players on the court. Teams know each other really well. It's very difficult to surprise. And this is one of the biggest things, cheap points, and how to take that away and how make everything difficult for them.
Coach, of course, EuroLeague, in my opinion, is a coaches' league, and your matchup with Ergin Ataman, of course, will be crucial also with the changes, adjustments during the game. What kind of matchup between you and Coach Ataman should be there to go into the final?
Well, I think we know each other really well. We played against each other many times, so it's extremely difficult to surprise. I think at this situation is the most important is to keep your players comfortable, so they can be in a position to succeed, and this is what I'm focusing on.
Yeah. Coach, I want to finish up with a golf question. Rory McIlroy won the Grand Slam, and after 11 years, I guess, he eventually made it. Is this your year to, make the same thing like McIlroy did?
I don't know. Let's see what will be the connection between that. Like I said, I'm just extremely happy about the opportunity to go there again and to compete for the title. And you never know when we can finish the job.
Yeah. Your message with the fans, we can finish with that.
Well, I think we're extremely grateful to support we have here in Ülker Arena. I think Final Four is also a big celebration, and I hope to see many Fener fans over there.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Coach Jasikevicius'la röportajımız bu şekildeydi. Bir sonraki röportajda görüşene dek hoşçakalın.